Hello and good afternoon everybody, and welcome back once again for another video of DIY investing. With the markets looking more and more bullish by the day, altcoins are showing a lot of strength recently. A lot of them have actually been breaking out alongside Bitcoin. Now with that being said, a lot of people are still bearish and a lot of people really have no idea what to expect. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about an amazing chart pattern that I think has enough substance to prove that this coin is going to be the biggest one of the next market cycle. Now you guys know I talk about a lot of altcoins on this channel. You guys already know that a few of my favorite ones have always been XRP and Tezos. Now today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my number one altcoin heading into 2020 and heading into this next bull run. This is the altcoin that I personally have the most of my portfolio invested into other than Bitcoin, and so I have a lot of faith that this one's going to perform very well. And I want to talk to you guys about a couple market cycle patterns that I'm noticing in between two different charts that are proving to me that this is going to be the big one of the next cycle. If you're new and just finding this channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and then click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any updates like the one I post here. Now remember guys, I also offer a video course with 20 educational videos that teach you guys all of my same strategies that I personally use to profit inside of cryptocurrency. You guys can check that out here. Make sure you guys click the invitation link in the description of this video, and there you're going to get access to my Discord server. Now you guys can message me on here if you guys want to get access to all of the exclusive DIY content. I also offer signals, so that gives you guys an opportunity to copy all of the same trades and investments that I'm personally taking so that you guys can actually profit alongside next to me. This is a really good valued product, and I highly recommend that you guys jump in on board with this before all of the markets start to pick up so that you guys can actually capitalize on a lot of these cheap entries that I have posted in here. Alright guys, thank you all so much for the support. With all that being said, let's jump right in the video today. Alright guys, so taking a look today, we're going to be diving in and looking at the altcoin market cap, and we're also going to be taking a look at the chart of Ethereum. Now, today I want to talk to you guys about something that I've noticed over the last few weeks. This is something I haven't really seen a lot of people talking about, but I feel like it's a very important part of trading and the market cycle of the altcoin market cap. Now, the altcoin market cap based on this chart is the all-time graph of all the altcoin money that we have. It's not excluding any of the altcoins. This is kind of an average of all of the money that's inside of altcoins. And so this is a pretty significant chart to watch for, because if we don't know what's happening to this, we don't really know what's going to happen with the altcoins. Now, you guys know that I've been watching these charts for a while. I've been watching the dominance chart of the altcoins pretty significantly because I thought that we were going to see another downside target. But what ended up happening was the altcoins showed a lot more strength, and it looks like we're actually going to be breaking up higher. Now, by taking a look at the altcoin market cap, we can see here that we're just in this accumulation phase. Now, one thing that I really like about the chart is just how symmetrical this is to a market cycle. The emotional psychology of the market, as well as just taking a look at the symmetry that this market cycle is printed. Now, one of the best things that I'll always look for whenever I come to looking at a market cycle, I'll come over here and I'll look at the Wall Street cheat sheet. And when I look at the Wall Street cheat sheet, it really shows me exactly where we're at in a market cycle. Now, we go through these big phases where we have the parabolic run, we have these big sharp declines in price in the bear markets, and then that's really where you want to be buying, is at the bottom of the bear market when nobody's really touching it, everybody's shaking out at the market, and that's when you start to see the real accumulation take place. We kind of make these rounded bottom formations, and then when enough smart money has accumulated, we start our first impulse, and then that starts really this phase all over again, the new parabolic cycle. And that's exactly what we're getting ourselves into right now. And this is the same sort of chart. We have a big parabolic run, sharp decline in price. We go all the way back down, start rounding out, make our first impulse, make our first higher high, and then this is what starts the new cycle back up. And so this is almost the exact same chart. This one shows a lot of symmetry between the market cycle. We have an immense amount of volume that's came in here. So the altcoin total market cap is looking excellent. Nothing has changed. I told you guys this previously, that I'm expecting to see this is the disbelief phase before we keep going up. Now, we dropped down a little bit lower than a lot of the time. I was expecting us to be a little bit higher than this, but it's fine, guys. This is the way the volatility works inside of crypto. Overall, we still have this double bottom formation market structure. And so to me, this looks really good. Now, what I've been noticing, guys, is the fact that Ethereum, this is Ethereum on the dollar, and this is the altcoin total market cap. Ethereum on the dollar looks exactly the same as the altcoin market cap. Now, this is the biggest reason why this is my #1 altcoin position. It's why I hold more Ethereum than I do any other altcoin. Now, don't get me wrong, guys, I'm still an XRP supporter. I really do like that project and see immense profit potential to be had there. Alongside with Tezos on top of that, I see a lot of potential between the both of those. But Ethereum has proven the most in its market structure. Now, you guys can make the argument, well, Ethereum did about the same return as XRP, so why aren't you talking about that? Now, the biggest reason for me liking Ethereum more than XRP is the fact that I like this more because it follows more closely to the altcoin market cap chart. Now, if the altcoin total market cap looks most identical towards what Ethereum is doing, that tells me that there's a lot more money inside of Ethereum than there is any other altcoin. Now, a lot of people will make the argument, well, yeah, if there might be a lot more money inside of Ethereum because it's the #2 cryptocurrency, but what about this cycle? This cycle is a new cycle. It can be completely different. We might not see the same sort of following that it's doing with Ethereum, and I have to disagree with that. I think that if we're following Ethereum's chart this closely and it's mirrored it all the way up to this point, I don't think that once the actual bull market starts, it's just going to magically stop happening, because that's not the way it happens, guys. You want to follow the trend. The trend is always your friend. The more that you're following the trend, the more that you are seeing the exact patterns that are playing out and what's happening in real time, the more likely you are that that's actually going to play out. And so in this case, if Ethereum's price is following almost identically to the altcoin market cap chart, then that tells me that there's a lot of money invested into Ethereum, and there's no reason why this pattern's only going to stop happening from here. And so if we take a look here, guys, we're going to go through and actually analyze the symmetries between the two. Now, this, at the early beginning of the market cycle, we had our first major impulse that took us from about $6 upwards of $450, and we consolidated in this ascending triangle formation. Now, the ascending triangle formation is going to be a little bit different between Ethereum's price and then the total market cap for the altcoins, but we can see that we got this similar triangle pattern. We coiled, and then we blew off into our final explosion and our final blow off top phase. Now, after that, that took us to about $1,450, and then that's what started the bear market retrace. Now, the thing that's really interesting to me is just how closely it follows the Ethereum chart. The fact that we get these two lower highs that come in, we reject, we fall even lower. We make about probably almost identically the same sort of drop. This one was about a 94% correction, almost 95% correction from high to low. And then we started accumulating sideways, right? We found our first bottom at about $80. We made our first higher low at $365. We came back down, retested about $122. And now we've just kind of consolidated sideways inside of this range. Now, the thing that's so interesting to me is just how closely these are correlated. We can see that we had almost the exact same triangle formation. We went into our final blow off top phase. Now we blew off top, started retracing, made the same exact lower highs, and then we dropped all the way back down to here and even made the exact same sideways accumulation structure, right? And so this is really important, guys, because the majority of the altcoin money is in Ethereum, and the total amount of the money inside of altcoins is following more closely to Ethereum, which tells me that there's more money invested into Ethereum than anything else. I mean, from the high to the low, we corrected about a 92% correction. So it was a little bit stronger of a sell-off inside of Ethereum. But overall, it's the exact same market structure. I mean, one thing that I like to do before we jump into anything else is I look at Fibonacci. Now, the Fibonacci relationship between the two pairs from low to high, we saw a little bit of a more prolonged sell-off than we generally see. Most of the times we'll see, in really bullish markets, we'll see a bottom near this 618 level, and even down at this 786. But this one actually fell all the way down to the 88% Fibonacci. Not that it's any less bullish, but it just shows that there was a lot more selling taking place. And so there was a lot more fear inside of this market at the time. Now, if we take a look at Ethereum currently, and we take a look at the Fibonacci relationship between the two pairs, we're going to see that we saw almost the exact same correlation. I mean, there's really no different. We went all the way back down, perfectly retested the 88%. And so the market symmetry is identical. I mean, give or take a few percentage points, but it's not very much. To me, this is the exact same chart, and to me, this tells me exactly which cryptocurrency is leading the altcoin charts. Now, of course, Bitcoin leads the entire market, but then you also have another secondary place altcoin that leads the altcoin market. And so this is the first altcoin that gets its money from Bitcoin, because the way that the cycles work, guys, is you'll have Bitcoin make a big rally. Bitcoin, once it starts to top out, all of that new money that entered the Bitcoin inside of the rally starts to leave, and then it goes into the first leading altcoin. Now, Litecoin was a big leader in the early reversal back in December of 2019, but I'm expecting Ethereum to be the bulk cryptocurrency deriving the most amount of value from Bitcoin's tops. It's going to be the biggest cryptocurrency besides Bitcoin. It's going to be getting the most amount of money after Bitcoin tops. It's going to be the first one to get that money. And that's the way that the cycle was last time. And I'm expecting this way to be the exact same sort of structure. And so this is what I'm watching out for with Ethereum. Overall, we have the exact same market structure as what we have with the total market cap. There's really no difference at all. Now, let's go into another sort of comparison here. And let's actually throw this to a log scale. Now, we can see here by throwing it to a log scale, we're going to look at the comparisons and similarities. Now, the altcoin market cap actually goes a little bit further in price history than Ethereum does. And so it's going to look a little bit different here. Let's actually take a look and see. So the only real difference that we see here between the Ethereum chart and then the actual altcoin market cap chart is the fact that we have a little bit more price history. Now, with the total market cap for altcoins, this was our 1 wave, this was our 3 wave, and now we're working on a final 5 wave impulse back up. And so this is kind of what I'm watching out for with Ethereum. Overall, Ethereum is just following this chart identically, but it's the biggest cryptocurrency besides Bitcoin, and so it's following this chart more identically than any of the other cryptos. And so that's my biggest reason for why I'm holding such a bigger amount of Ethereum than I am anything else. I'm really excited about F2.0. F2.0 is going to be a real driver. It's basically taking Ethereum from a Model T Ford to a Formula One race car. And I mean that because right now Ethereum can only handle about 15 transactions per second on its blockchain, and so it's really slow. It can't scale. But F2.0 is going to take Ethereum's market from taking 15 transactions per second to taking 10 to 15,000 transactions per second. And so it's really going to take it to that next level to where it's going to be able to scale. And so I think that as we get all of these finished products inside the market structure, it's going to take us into this final 5 wave impulse. And that's really where all of smart money is going to be taking profits. And so I'm expecting it to continue to fall out similarly. Now, if we look at the two, we can see that we had this 1 wave, and then that's what starts really the point where Ethereum started is basically right here. This is where it gets added to the exchanges. This is where it makes its first high, and this was the parabolic run that it went in, right? And so we don't have all of this. All of this is gone. All of this previous stuff isn't there inside of Ethereum, but what we do have is the total altcoin market cap chart showing us exactly what's coming next for this market cycle. And so if we take a look at Ethereum, we can see that. Now, this was just the first impulse. This is really just that first leg up in the cycle before we go into the final parabolic phase right there. And so we can see that it's exactly the same. This is the first leg up, and this is the big parabolic cycle. The only thing that's missing is this entire 1 wave. And so inside of Ethereum, we have a little bit of a different market structure showing to us right now. If we take a look at here, we really only have a 1, 3, and 5 Elliott wave impulse back down. And so I don't think that this is actually just a big 1 wave. I don't think that this is a big 1 wave and we're about to see a 3 that's going to take us into ungodly highs. I actually think that the 1 wave would have been down in here. I think that the 1 wave would have been all the way down here. 1, 2, and then this would have been the 3, 4, and then we're having one more final 5 wave impulse in Ethereum. Now, to me, guys, I have really high price targets drawn for Ethereum. A lot of people have talked down upon those price targets, and it's all right. I mean, I personally have a lot of confidence in these getting filled, but you know, people aren't used to how parabolic crypto goes, and so they're not going to be able to fully understand why I'm making the price targets that I am. So my price targets are going to be from 5,000, 7,500. We're going to have one at 10K. We're going to have some at 15K. and then we're going to have some up here at 20K. And so these are going to be my price targets in which I'm going to scale out of Ethereum on the way back up. If they don't get filled on some of these higher ones, then I'm most likely going to hold them for the long term. But my higher price targets at 10 to 20,000 are actually not going to be a very significant portion of my portfolio. I'm going to sell most of it at these bottom three because that just makes more sense. There's more risk involved with trying to hit a $20,000 upside target, and so for that reason, I think that I'll scale out a little bit earlier. But I'll still hold some for the long term. Overall, this is still an underdeveloped market cycle. It looks exactly the same as the total market cap for altcoins. And so what that tells me is we're just headed for another cycle. Now, kind of the way it works, if you take a look at the altcoin market cap, for whatever reason, the new year is a time of reversals. And then we go in cycles of 2 years. So 2-year bear market, 2 years would take us to 2016, which would be about right here. And then we get our bullish reversal. And then we go for another 2-year cycle up. 2 years from 2016 takes us to 2018, which would be right here. This is where we get the bearish reversal. And then we go in another 2-year bear market. 2 years from today puts us at 2020, which would be right here. And then that's going to be a bullish reversal. And so you guys can see here, just by taking a look at the cycles, how on the altcoin market cap, it looks a little bit different. So on like XRP, you'll have a 2-year bear cycle and then a 1-year bull cycle. But with altcoin market cap, we're actually seeing a 2-year bull cycle, 2-year bear cycle, 2-year bull cycle, 2-year bear cycle. And so I've updated you guys and told you why I was so bullish heading into the new year. I've told you guys why I was bullish on XRP and I was expecting a reversal heading into the new year. And I mean, so far it's lining up perfectly. We started getting our impulse directly after the new year. I expected that that was going to be the case here. We just had this big double bottom formation. And so once we break about, well, on Ethereum, once we break about $365, then that's going to be a full trend reversal, and we're actually going to see new targets towards the all-time high mark. And so this is what we're seeing inside of the altcoin market cap. Overall, if the altcoin market cap looks just like Ethereum, that tells me that Ethereum is driving the value inside of the altcoins. And then if we take a look at the altcoin market cap, we know exactly where Ethereum is going because we've already finished a 1 and a 2, a 3 and a 4, and now we have one more final 5-wave impulse back up. And then that's going to be the completion of our cycle inside of the altcoins. It's going to be our big first 1, 3, and 5 impulse waves. And then we'll have probably a prolonged bear market, but we still have a lot of profit potential to be had. And this thing's accumulated for a long time. It's my understanding that we're going to have about a 2-year bull cycle based off of how the altcoin market cap lines up. And so that's going to take us to the end of 2020, which would be about right here. That's kind of what I'm going to be watching for. That's actually going to take us to the start of 2022. And that's kind of where I'm going to be looking to scale out most of my profits. I'll scale out most of my profits the final, quarter of 2021 because I do expect it to continue to follow this cycle analysis. Now, for whatever reason, it goes on 2-year cycles, 2-year bull cycle, 2-year bear cycle. And so I think that we're about to see, a bigger picture cycle ensue where we have another major 2-year bull market. And so we might see something like this, bigger impulse, kind of consolidate sideways, maybe see another bigger impulse, consolidate sideways, and then we'll have our final 5-wave impulse. And we'll see something like that over the next couple years. And so this is kind of what I'm going to be watching out for. Overall, I expect to see somewhat of the similar market structure as this. It could go even more parabolic, us being in a 5-wave. We could see things go very, very parabolic quickly. And we might actually only have maybe a 1-year bull market. And the reason for that is because of all of the euphoria that's inside of the market currently. It just makes sense that that is a possibility that I'm watching out for. But overall, guys, I think that the best thing to do is just scale out over the next year or two. I think that the bull market's already started. We're about at this point here before we make our first sizable impulse inside of this cycle. And who knows, maybe we're going to make like the last cycle and actually break out of that all-time high mark in our first impulse. I have no idea, but I wanted to share this analysis with you guys. The fact that both of these look almost identical gives me a reason to believe that Ethereum is going to be the biggest driver of value inside of the altcoin market. I'm not going to tell you guys that it's going to be the biggest % return on investment, but I will say that it's going to be the most consistent of all of the altcoins. And so for me, consistency is the best formula for me to put trust in, to me to put the most money into. And so if it was the best performing altcoin in the last market cycle, the altcoin total market cap is once again following more closely to this Ethereum than any other cryptocurrency, then that tells me that there's just a lot more money in Ethereum. It's a lot safer of a bet. You're going to be able to count on it a lot more than any other altcoin. And so for that reason, I'm actually holding a significant amount of my portfolio inside of Ethereum. I am expecting Bitcoin to kind of start losing its dominance as altcoins really start to take footing in this next cycle. And so the people that are really accumulating a lot of it now have an opportunity to make a significant portion back, just because of the fact right now Ethereum is so cheap. I mean, right now we can get one for less than 180 bucks. That's a steal. It's not going to last much longer. I already hit my goal of having at least 32 Ethereum so I could start staking on the F2.0 blockchain. And so I'm really excited about that. I'm holding some Ethereum just for that reason alone. I mean, since I bought so cheap and I accumulated in the bear market, and if you guys are doing the same and you have 32 ETH, then when the cycle starts and you're actually staking your Ethereum, you're going to make a lot of money off of the profit potential from it just going up. And on top of that, you're going to be earning interest for staking your coins. And so that's a really good thing. And I think that you guys should really be jumping on that opportunity while it's here. I'm going to definitely be doing that the entire next bull cycle. And so I think that if I'm going to continue to be staking, I'm going to earn a maximum amount of reward for not a lot of risk, because if the altcoin market cap's following Ethereum, that shows where the real money is actually going. So anyways, guys, this is the video I had for you. If you found this video helpful, always remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more updates in the future. Remember, if you want to get access to my Signal service or you want to actually get a hold of my video course, or either or, make sure you guys click the invitation link in the description of this video, and there you're going to get access to my Discord server. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I will catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.